If you start to do this one thing, you're going to stop wasting time. You're going to stop wasting energy. You you'll have stable, you have peace of mind, right? Those moments you have when you're lying in bed, you're supposed to be sleeping, but you can't sleep because you're thinking about this kind of stuff. All of that can be stopped if you start accepting the cards that you've been dealt. What that really means is everyone gets a few a few blessings, a few gifts, and everyone gets a few cards that are, you like to change. You'd be like, I wish I didn't have this. And instead of being grateful or focusing on the positives ones, we still tend to always um, focus on the negative ones, which most of the time we cannot control, right? People like us, we have that kind of mind where it's just, you know what, the positives, yeah, 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 like I have them, but I need more, I need more, I need more. So let me correct these negative ones. Well, you can't, right? You cannot do that, right? So, like for example, let's say that a person, a guy, his like negative cards is he is 5'7", right? So he's a bit short, and he doesn't really have a great relationship with his parents. On the other side, though, he is blessed in the gym, right? He can build an awesome physique. Plus, now if you kind of know about the gym, he is short, like he has a small frame, so he can his progress is going to be like exponentially faster than someone who might be like 6'2". He can approach his hand, his set of cards in a way where, okay, so I can do this much better than this guy. Instead of going, oh, this guy is 6'2", I wish I was 6'2". Obviously, there's benefits to being 6'2", right? There's no denying the fact that there's benefit to being 6'2". But it's all about perspective, because you can't change being 5'7". You can't, like, he can't force himself to be 6'2", right? So it's all about the perspective that we have on what we're kind of focusing. I'm no exception to this fact, by the way. Like, I've made progress in this where now I spend more time on focusing on things that I can control, I can change, and less on these kinds of things. But it still does happen, right? It still does happen. So, for example, I'm pretty much like the guy who doesn't have a really good relationship with his parents. So, whenever most of the time, like this Saturday, which is yesterday, I basically, when I hung up and I was on the phone with my mom, I was frustrated. I was like, fuck this, that type of thing, right? I just don't have the best relationship with them. Even but like even, even in terms of height, this is a bit embarrassing though. Um, when I was extremely insecure about my height, I would um online, like whichever like actors, um, musician, other kind of celebrities that girls would like celebrity crushes, those kind of things. The first thing I'll do is like, okay, so this is a guy's name, okay, and I'll check his height. So if I'm like around it, if I am um taller than him, then it's like, wow, let's fucking go, that type of thing. And I'm not, I was just extremely insecure about it. So that's what I would do. With my parents, I can't change who my parents are. And um, as much as you would try to change it, it's a two-person thing, right? Relationships are a two-person thing. So both of them have to work on it so that it can change into something better. And most of the time, it's not really in your control of what the other person thinks about this relationship, right? It can be with your girlfriend, it can be with your friends, even parents. So you can't control them. And that's why we should not waste our time in those kind of things, right? Because people like us, we're already working on ourselves, right? We're in the gym, we are doing our thing. It could be this, it could be studying, it could be business, whatever that may be. We already have a lot on our plate, which we're changing, we're improving, we're making progress in. It already takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, those kind of things. To add these, like extremely like stupid things onto our plate, it just doesn't make sense. Especially when you can't change them, like you have no control over. It's just stupid to do that, right? Like you can't change your height, can't change the family you're born into. So to add it to like this work task that you already have of going to the gym, business, all of these things, it's just it's bad. Like it's why would you do that type of thing? And this is gonna take time to work on, right? This is an eventual thing. This is an eventual thing because you don't have control over it, you need to fully understand it and accept it, right? This is not like, let's say right now you're fat, right? It's going to take you time, let's say 6 months, but after those 6 months, if you put in the work, it's going to work out, right? Like you're going to become fit. This isn't quite like that because even if you wait for 6 years, some things are not going to change because they're not in your control. So the kind of action step for this would be to sit down and just list down properly. This could be just in your mind of, okay, so right now I'm insecure about these things. I I have no control over these things. And so try and figure out what you can strike off immediately. So for example, if it's something with height, it's still gonna take time, but you can do it faster. It's just gonna be quicker, right? Because it is just you're not gonna grow taller, right? But in anything, whether you're short or where you're tall, some person has done something. And what I mean by that is it could be with girls. You have seen like a short person like 5'6", 5'7" walk around with like a 9 out of 10. It is possible, right? A short person doing good in life, it is just there. So that kind of insecurity you can work on quicker. But some of the things that you can control, for example, your relationships, it's going to take time. So just accept what you have right now and be okay with it. Work on it definitely, but just realize that it's going to take a long time to work on it. Plus, it has to be from both sides, right? Be grateful for the gifts you have. This is something that I wasn't really aware of in a way where, like everyone has gifts, right? Maybe you haven't discovered them right now, but everyone has gifts. Everyone has a few like blessings. So be grateful for them. And the negative ones, which you can change, of course, like fucking work your ass off to change them. But the ones you have no control over, don't really like pay them attention, right? Person who has a great hand of cards can still play them really poorly and not make in life. But a person who has average or even bad, like worst kind of cards can play them properly and he can still make it in life. He can still be successful, right? So be grateful for the positives and the negatives, the ones you can change them, but the ones you can't, don't lose sleep over it, right? And if you found this video helpful, by the way, leave a comment, let me know if this is helpful. This is my goal right now, is to first of all like just really know if my content out there is helping people, because that is definitely my primary goal. And if you're looking forward to this kind of content, if you like, if you're interested in this kind of content, fuck with this kind of content, then subscribe. I'm gonna be posting, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And don't give up, never give up. All right.